Now I got this video here. This is before conception, part 2. Now, it's just some things that I think about. I think about if my parents had not, got together, the universe, circumstances or happenings did not land them, within proximity of each other, then the happenings that was going on with me personally, it'll still be how it was, in 1900, 3000 BC, 10,000 BC, 100,000 BC, 1 million BC, 999 trillion Googleplexian years ago. And before that, it still be going that way. So, ultimately I would have asked that, I desired that, it continued to go like how that was going already. And, not to blame my parents for anything because, they was doing what people been doing ever since people popped up here. Not saying that what is right or wrong, that's just what just been going on. So I do understand that concept. I do understand that, it's basically the same things going on over and over again. This here that been going on, everything that's going on in this generation is the same mess that been going on the previous generation, the generation before that, the generation before that. So it's basically the same, stuff just going on the same over and over again. So, if choices and stuff was real, if there was truly a such thing as a choice, then I would have chose that, that happenings don't put my parents together, and that's to where I could have kept as things was, how it was going, 10,000 BC, 9,000 BC, 8,000 BC, 7,000 BC, 6,000 BC, 1,000 BC, 1,000 AD, 900 AD, the year of 1900, 1910, 1920, 1930, 1940. So, if choices really was real, then, I would have desired that happenings kept things going like how it was going as it was going. And that's why I kind of struggle with the philosophy of choice, or I would say better worded that I'm skeptical of the philosophy of choice, that, when something say, well, you had a choice. And I said, that's why I'm skeptical of choice. Cause I say, well, if everything that's going on right now is because of the choices that I made, right? The choices that I'm making or that I'm deciding to make, then how is it that before conception, I could not say happiness, I don't want those people to come together, or they, the combination that, they combine and then they make this combination here, come here. I say, why couldn't I stop them from getting together? Or why couldn't I, some kind of way make them go to other people, just so they could go mate with other people, and if they needed kids, then they can, go have kids with those other people, and, other people could still have their existence. So I asked, why couldn't it be like that there if choice is real? How is it that I could not do that if it really was any validity to the philosophy of choice? And again, that's why I don't have offspring. Not that it matters, or even if it don't matter. I really don't know. But, as it was going, that's how I desired. I desired that it kept on going the way that it was going for myself. And then it's just, one less for the things that go on here. And as I happen to think, if 1900 was a real time, 10,000 BC was a real time, then I ask myself, how am I here today? Because during that time, if I did not exist, how can I all of a sudden exist today? You see what I'm saying? Because things that don't exist could never exist. So that's what just make this reality just really contradictory. It's just a really weird reality because it contradicts itself. If something don't exist, how does it exist tomorrow? If something don't exist today, how does it all of a sudden exist tomorrow? You see what I'm saying? Because it don't exist. It's the example of, I'm gonna say the example is just something that just don't exist. And all of a sudden it exists now. You see what I'm saying? So if something don't exist, how can it up and exist? If it don't exist, it's the example. I keep saying example. It's just what just don't exist. I guess I gotta say example. I guess it's the example of what don't exist. It's the definition of what don't exist. Like, for example, the people that's gonna be born in the year, 2080. Like, they don't exist. They're not here today. So you would ask, what is that? Because, there's no attributes to that other than once it get to that time, then you'll find out what that is. But I'm looking at it in relation to today. Does those people, do they exist? Do those people exist? The people who are going to be born in 2080, do they exist? Or the people that's going to be born in the year 3000, do they exist? If they don't exist today, then what's going on? So, it's just some of the things I think about before conception, and some of the things that's kind of, I can say, contradictory, about this world, about this reality.